Hi. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Boleros podcast. I'm Gab, and with me is Maui today. Say hi,
Hello,
Maui.
hello.
So it's just the two of us. Our friend Sam has some daddy duties to attend to, so he won't be joining us for this episode. We are recording this right after the Ateneo Blue Eagles just lost against the NU Bulldogs in I would say an upset. I think it's an upset. Would you agree, Maui, that it was an upset?
Ah, yeah, I think it still is an upset despite having identical records. Uh,
Oh yeah,
I'm
and
at a loss
oh,
of
go
words,
see it.
bro. I'm at a loss of words. Ateneo should have won that game. Uh,
I, I
but go
I
ahead,
think we're
Gab.
both
Go ahead.
shocked. No, I think
Yeah,
I'm shocked. So let's have a quick recap of that game, since it is a pretty big game. It's the number 2 and 3 seeds. Well, now they're both number 2 seeds, uh, and NU just it's a tale of two halves. I think the first half was all NU. I think no, that's sorry. The second quarter was all NU. Would you agree, Mao? I
yeah,
think that was a very
definitely.
sloppy second quarter.
Second quarter all NU, third quarter all mostly Ateneo. But I think NU was able to reset after the third quarter and play to their strengths nung second quarter. They had very great ball denial and had a lot of offensive rebounds of misses. Um, Ange Kwame had 4 points and two rebounds in 27 minutes. So if the
Talaga?
question,
I
yeah, he
didn't know
had
he
four
was
points
that bad. 2 rebounds?
4 points, and 4 points is okay, but Ateneo is a very deep scoring team. But two rebounds for Ange Kwame. He's leading the league in rebounds, and I think I can say that he wasn't moving very well during the game. There were a lot of defensive breakdowns. But two rebounds for Kwame in 27 minutes, and I think the body language doesn't speak very well. It was one of our questions nung start of the regular, even before the start of the regular season of the UAAP. Will Ange Kwame's knees hold up? And it's a very bad sign for Ateneo. This first game of the second round.
Yeah, I do agree, Mao. The body language part. There were a few times where he got the ball in the high post, and he just didn't attack Omar Jan. No, he was one on one with Omar Jan. If I were in most games, Ange would go and attack the basket or attack it and kick out, but he just did. But I don't know if he
Yeah,
was intimidated by Omar Jan or he was bothered or something was bothering him. But he looked really passive. Omar Jan outplayed him by a mile. A
yeah, by a
mile,
mile.
diba?
Tsaka ano,
Omar Jan
tsaka
got the big rebounds in the entire game.
yeah. And
Oh,
I think a big part of the big thing also is Omar Jan was able to box him out a lot, which is why Manansala had the game of his life. He had 17 points and 11 rebounds, also two steals and two blocks in only I think 20 minutes of action. For a guy who averages I think 4 points a game, that's big, pretty big.
yeah, four
Especially
points.
especially because of the magnitude of the game. If had Ateneo won the game, they would have easily gotten the second seed. They would have had I think 6 wins and 2 losses, and NU would have dropped to 4 losses, which is very big since they won't be facing each other anymore for the season. Uh,
Uh,
Very shocking, but I'm more, to be honest, I'm more concerned with Ange Kwame's body language. Having two rebounds for him is really an off night or a very bad game. He's the leading rebounder. Ateneo was the worst rebounding team in season 84, and without Ange Kwame's defense and rebounding, people will have to really step up.
it's good that you brought up Jolo Manansala. I think he played a great game, but I think that all of the wings of NU were so bothersome on the defensive end.
Yeah,
In the second quarter, I counted more than 10 times where they tapped the ball away just by playing defense, just by anticipating the drives, and the tips from behind from Steve Nash Enriquez and Kian
Yeah.
Baclaan, they were
Kahit
so
yung mga
disruptive. Mm,
kahit yung mga easy handoffs lang, they were very disruptive. Daming turnovers from the usual dribble handoffs of Ateneo.
yeah, so sobrang dami. And we talked about this a lot, no, and during our previous episodes, Mao, that these wings, these tall, long wings of NU do cause a lot of problems, and we saw how they would cause a lot of problems in this game. It wasn't that apparent. Well, actually, it was a bit of apparent in their previous game against UP. Uh, but in this game, the havoc they wreaked
Yeah.
the on the defensive end was so apparent. Uh, the problem I think with Ateneo in that first half especially was they played to NU space. No, they were rushing a lot of the offense. They were obviously bothered. They were shackled on the defensive end. They sort of calmed down in the third quarter. Then it became apparent again in the fourth. A lot of sloppy plays by Ateneo, especially that last play, the inbounds play, pare. Sobrang ano nangyari doon? I think nagulat sila na yung nag-zone yung NU, no?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
nung 2 minutes they turned to a zone and Ateneo couldn't convert. Yung first play was very bad. Idelfonso also forced one shot that was blocked by Malonzo. I think NU really had Ateneo's number today in terms of energy and execution. Only had BJ Andrade not had the game of his life today, I think Ateneo
yeah.
probably wouldn't have closed out the game during the third quarter. But even so, I think that was a winnable game for Ateneo. But NU really executed pretty well nung end game. And kitang-kita mo yung 50-50 balls, they were always there. They really wanted more that game. They
Yeah,
were all cramping
totoo
up.
pare.
Kita mo naman, they were all
Yeah,
cramping
yeah.
up. I think
John Mansala was cramping up. Yeah,
Manansala,
Malonzo as well.
Manansala was already cramping up. They were giving their all. Unfortunately, Ateneo was not able to match yung energy and disruption nila sa defensive end.
We also another issue that I wanted to bring up, and we talked about this in I think our past episode is Ateneo's bench. I think they were so shitty in that game. None of them could produce anything and I think was it Boom or Miko Halili on the call? I think it was Boom.
Boom,
Boom
boom.
and Larry Fonasier, diba? Yeah. I think they brought it up, no? In last season, season 84, Ateneo's bench could be a starting five. You know, Tyler Teo was there in the game and he brought up yung sina Tyler Teo,
Gian
Jolo
Mamuyak.
Mendoza, Gian Mamuyak was coming off the bench, and there was no letdown from the starting five. And this game I think was pretty apparent that the Ateneo's bench is crap. They
Yeah.
have no one who can produce or maintain the intensity or even the efficiency of the first unit. And when the first unit is not doing well, also it's just so crap. And you compare that with NU. In the first half, Coach Jeff Napa was shuffling his players around. It felt like every minute he was making a substitution.
Yung first
And
quarter.
I think
Yung first
that was his
quarter.
game. Yeah.
Parang
I
inikot
think
nila
that
lahat
was
eh.
his game plan.
Yeah.
No? Oh, parang game plan niya yun, no? Keep the ball pressure up. Just trap. They were trapping everything. And he was subbing everyone out just to keep the legs fresh. I think Coach Tab got outcoached, honestly, from that first half and even in the final few minutes when, Coach Jeff Napa, out of a timeout, suddenly going zone, and you can see that the inbound play was for a man-to-man set. So, sobrang nawala yung Ateneo sa confusion, and kudos talaga to NU and to Coach Jeff Napa. I think that game is a microcosm of how they really play, of their identity. They're gonna outplay you on the defensive end, and they're gonna out hustle you. Just that na Cyril Gonzalez lang sila nung last game, which I think they should have won also. But I was same as you, Maui. I'm very shocked that Ateneo lost. And let's talk about this in the standings. So they're both 5-3 now. Uh, I think NU has the upper hand. Don't you think? They've played UP and Ateneo already. So essentially, they just have to win against LaSalle, who we think is one of the top teams. So I think they have the advantage, no, to of for that twice to beat advantage in yung going into the final four.
Yeah, actually, NU is now 6-3. Ateneo was one of the teams na na-cancel yung game nung weekend because of the typhoon. But yeah, Gab, I completely agree. They're already able to face two of the top teams, Ateneo and UP. Had Ateneo won this game, they would have been 6-2, and NU would have been 5-4, I think. Uh, yeah, 5-4. But Ateneo's game against UP is now a must-win game for them, for them to be able to contend
Exactly.
with NU for the second slot. That is if NU continues to outperform and demolishes or beats the other teams. Next game of Ateneo is also against LaSalle, but LaSalle is faltering right now, and I think Shawnee Winston is out for this Saturday against Ateneo. So Ateneo should win
Oh,
that
we
game
have to win
definitely.
that.
Definitely, they have to
Yes,
win
we
that game.
have to win that.
If they lose that game, Ateneo would fall in the trap of just contending for the Final Four. I think essentially if they lose that match, most probably NU would run away with the second slot, especially UP would probably lock in the first slot. They're at 8-1 right now. Um, but yeah, completely agree, Gab. I think that was a very crucial win for NU, just for them to continue to fight for the number two slot. And I think, yeah, you're right. They're the front runner for the second slot.
Yes, and just looking at Ateneo's remaining schedule, again, you brought up that LaSalle game and the UP game. They also have to face FEU, who is on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
And you called it. Okay, so I think this is a very good transition to our next segment, Mao. We're gonna go with our Ballers and Boleros of the week. So I will start since I did bring it up. So my baller of the week is you, ikaw, Mao, for calling
Calling FU.
FEU. Yes, yung calling the rise and resurgence of FEU and basically locking them in the. I think you said they were gonna make the final four.
Yeah. They
I,
were
I think you did, yeah,
my wild card.
and that's genius because now they've won 4 straight games. They're 4-5. They're tied for number 4 in the standings with UE, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're tied with UE for number 4, and they have a great shot of making the final four from starting 0-5. This is so great for Coach Nash, and I just want to give
Olsen, Coach
some
Olsen.
props. Yeah, I just sorry to Coach Olsen, and I don't know if you noticed it, Mao. They're playing not really much different style of offense, but they're playing harder.
Yeah, they're playing
They're out
harder.
hustling teams. Uh, their rotation is essentially the same. Their style of play is essentially the same. They shoot a lot of threes, they drive, but they're out hustling opponents. I don't know if you watched the game against LaSalle er, er, earlier, Maui.
Yeah,
Uh,
today.
they
That was
got all of the loose balls. They got
actually, yeah.
all of the loose balls. They made all of the big stops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
All
think
right.
it's
Go.
very
Go ahead, Mau.
I think when I started trying to call FEU as a possible sleeper pick for the second round and for the final four, we mentioned before the importance of Cyrus Torres finding a foot this season. And I think he's finally hitting shots. And that's very crucial
He is.
for FEU. Yeah, and even Patrick Chuete starting to play better. He started to focus on rebounding and defense and trying to do less sa offense, trying to think less, just getting those putbacks and drop passes. And I don't know. Even if I called them, I'm still surprised that they're on a 4-game win streak. I never imagined them being in contention this early. Kala ko talaga, to be honest, kala ko dulo-duluhan to, gulo sa dulo. We called it that the third and fourth slot will be a dog. I think the fourth slot will be a doghouse. Dog fight between 3 or 4 teams. But UAAP season 85 is crazy, man. Yun lang masasabi ko, it's
Crazy.
crazy. Finally, we've been waiting for this for the past few years na talagang competitive yung the whole field. NU even beating Ateneo today is a testament to that. NU hasn't beaten Ateneo since Kiefer Ravena played for Ateneo. That was 2014. That was 8 years ago. And it sucks to be an Ateneo fan to lose today because they're gonna block balls.
Sucks.
But I'm happy as a UAP fan because it's very competitive. UP could have been part of this roller coaster season had they not closed out 2 or 3 of those nail biters during the first round. But yeah, ballers of the week definitely FEU. FEU's very hot and ready to contend. Would have thought na 9 games into the season, biglang fourth place sila. Diba?
Diba?
Yeah.
0-5, pare.
Grade
You know
5
kung
and
gaano
now
kahirap
4-5.
yun. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
We
I'm just thinking, as a coach, it's very hard to motivate and to keep your players grounded when you've lost every single game. Uh,
yeah.
0-5, pare. Kung I've been in teams which have been winning a lot, and it's easy to motivate players when you're winning. No, it's really hard to motivate and to keep players grounded when you're not winning, and especially when you haven't won for 5 games. And the fact that Coach Olsen has rallied his players together is just incredible to me,
He's the baller of the week.
and they look motivated.
Yeah,
Yes,
they look motivated.
he is a baller of the week.
Tsaka Gab, just to
They
add
look very motivated. Oh,
more
go.
so, you mentioned na being a 0-5 team, it would have been very hard to motivate this team. But also being an early season contender for the Final Four and starting out 0-5, having a very good off season,
Good point.
and
Good
then
point.
starting out very very flat and cold sa season. Props to them for being the number 4 slot right now and winning 4 straight. FEU is back. FEU is back.
Yes, FU is definitely back, and I'm scared to face them. Oh, I'm scared for Ateneo. Sobrang takot ako, pare.
Yeah.
Sobrang takot ako.
Nail biter din yung first
So,
round natin.
yeah, 9 points. And I think it was our closest win in the
Yeah,
first
but
round, diba? Lahat
I think that
blowouts.
game, yeah, blowouts. But I think yung game with the FEU, it was 9 points, but the whole game was very tense. That was the opening game of Ateneo and
Yep.
FEU.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our first baller of the week is FEU. That's sorry, not FEU. You are the baller of the week, Maui. So that's mine. Who or which team or which person is your baller of the week, Maui?
Coach Olsen. We have to give props to Coach Olsen and his coaching staff. Starting out again, we have to reiterate they started out 0-5 and they've racked up 4 straight wins. Who would have thought that 9 games in they're now the number 4 slot. And all the momentum is on them. We were hoping for them to win the last 2 games of the first round for them to have a chance in the second round. But who would have thought they racked up 4 straight wins right now? And Cyrus Torres for finally stepping up. But definitely just the FEU team as a whole, FEU and its coaching staff for fighting it out and turning their season around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just gotta say that LJ Gonzalez looks like a different man.
Yeah.
He's commanding the offense. He's making big shots. And their whole team is just scrappy. They're scrapping hard. And yeah, you said it. It's a credit to the coaching staff and to Coach Olsen. So let's give ourselves another, let's say a runner-up, a runner-up baller of the week. So I'll start with you, Maui. Who is your runner-up baller of the week?
Uh Running up baller of the week is probably Jolo Manansala. Uh, he wrecked Ateneo a while ago. I don't know.
Recency
Yeah,
bias, pare.
recency bias, but it's Ateneo NU. It's probably their biggest game this season, or even their biggest game for the past few seasons. Jolo Manansala had
Okay, good point,
17
good
points,
point.
11 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and from those 11 rebounds, he had, I think, 6 offensive rebounds that were converted into second chance points. Uh,
Crazy.
NU beating Ateneo
Lumilipad
was
siya, pare.
lumilipad.
Lumilipad siya.
Lumilipad siya. Tsaka most of those offensive rebounds were in traffic. Talagang kitang-kita mo nandun din si Omar John, si Kwame, and even the other forwards, Balungay and Malonzo. But yeah, I think they gave him the player of the game. We have to credit Jolo Manansala for his breakout game. He was like this nung first game against Ateneo, but he was too aggressive, and I think he got into foul trouble. It was his birthday nung game against Ateneo. I remember that, and I'm happy for him that he finally his energy translated into to to a win for NU and him being awarded as player of the game. How about you, Gab? Who's your runner-up baller of the week?
My runner-up baller of the week has to be UP. I think we take for granted what UP does on a regular basis because they're so good, and they're expected to win. But I think they've hit their stride. They're also a winner. They're also a baller of the week because they got JD Kagulangan back, and he looks
Yeah,
healthy finally. And I've said it since last season. They're a different team when JD Kagulangan is on the floor. Uh, Terence Fortea, as much as they play him as a point guard, he is not a point guard. I'm still adamant that he's more of a shooting guard than a point guard. JD
hybrid na
Kagulangan is more
hybrid.
of a point guard. Yeah, he's more of a hybrid. And I watched that NU game last Sunday, and they're just loaded, pare. Sobrang loaded ng UP. Imagine nung fourth quarter, si Cyril Gonzalez ang bumuhat sa kanila. Cyril
Yeah,
Gonzalez, he's like the third, fourth guard off the bench. And he carried them in the fourth quarter against NU. Carl Tamayo, I think, had 8 points and was on the bench for most of the game. He wasn't even playing that much. Uh, and yet they still won convincingly against NU. I think during the first round, they mostly had close games. I think of their six wins in the first round, five of them were close games. Now they're putting a bit more distance. They blew out Adamson a while ago, and they won convincingly against NU. So UP man, they look unbeatable right now. Honestly, uh, they're so deep, so deep. I think in this game earlier, they started. They had Lucero, Kagulangan, and I forgot who the other guy was coming off the bench. Yung Henry Galenato, yung coming off the bench.
yeah, yeah,
And all
yeah.
of them contributed in the game a while ago.
Yeah,
And
maganda laro ni
pare,
Galinato. I was about to say kanina. They're loaded.
can't
Their
imagine
bench could
anyone beating UP. Go ahead, Maui.
Yeah, their bench is are starters for any other team. Lucero could be a star player for any other team. Galinato would start at center for any other team, I think, except for those teams that have a foreign student athlete. But yeah, you mentioned UP's death, and they're showing it. They're showing it right now. Back-to-back games. First Gonzalez, and then a while ago Galinato. But to me, one of the most impressive players for UP, aside from the consistent Malik Diouf and the emergence of Carl Tamay, is really Zav Lucero. To me, he's been very underrated this year. He's been very disruptive in both ends. He's one of the top 3 point shooters also for UAAP. And you
Yes.
also see aside of him that we didn't see last year, he was playmaking a while ago. He had very good passes to Henry Galinato. But I think the versatility of Zav Lucero has been very critical to UP. And you see it. There are games that they don't even need to get Tamayo off the bench during crunch time because Lucero is playing out of his mind too. Uh, UP is scary. They're a mile away. They're a mile
Sobra.
away for me. Ateneo and NU are probably miles away still with UP. But we'll see. We'll see. This season has been about surprises and a lot of surprises and upsets. We don't know. Let's see. But right now, yeah, UP is finally playing up to their potential. Yung first round kasi, you could have argued na any game could have gone either way. But right now, they're dominating both ends.
Yeah. Scary, pare. You
Scary.
mentioned it a while ago. They have games like a while ago that Carl Tamayo doesn't have to do much of anything, and they still dominate. It is
Yeah.
crazy. Uh, so UP is it's it's kind of crazy also that they're the runner up for Bolero of the week, but they're 7-1. Uh,
Yeah, they're seven and
Crazy. So
one.
let's go. So we've outlined our ballers of the week. Now, Maui, let's outline our boleros of the week. Who do you want to start? I'll give you first pick. Who is your bolero of the week?
Pare, not even just the week, just the past few weeks, past few games. The bolero of the season is probably Lasal. Who would have thought? When Lasal beat Ateneo, I really thought that Lasal was the number two contender behind UP. They were hitting their strides. It was the first time I saw Lasal play very good with Shawnee Winston struggling in the first half. But I don't know, they've lost their identity. Mark Nonoy is playing sparingly. They've gone to Penny Stasio right now. We still don't know why they keep on giving minutes to Joaquin Manuel instead of Adabam or even CJ Austria. Um, LaSalle just has lost its identity. If FEU was struggling during the start of the season, LaSalle is struggling very much during the mid part of the season. I think they were 3-1, and now they're what 3-5. I think they've lost
Three and
their last.
five. They're 3-5.
They've lost their past four games, and it's getting worse. Evanelli was suspended for the third game, I think. Michael Phillips is hurt, and even Shawnee Winston is hurt. Shawnee Winston won't play against Ateneo this weekend. It doesn't bode well for them.
Blessing from the gods.
I guess blessing from the gods, but definitely LaSalle is our boleros number one bolero of the week. Sammy and Gab both called them as their title favorite. But I
We look
thought
so
they were
bad now.
yeah definitely. But I really thought when they beat Ateneo and they went toe and toe with UP, they should have won that game. They are a championship contender, but unfortunately right now they're at 3-5 and it's not looking good. Definitely, it's not looking good. It's not like FEU that they're at 4-5 and they've won the past four games. LaSalle is a complete opposite. I think either they've lost four straight or 4 of 5 of their last 5 games, and their players are injured also. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to turn the season around.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough, Mao. And watching them is tough as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned a player that I was not sure if I wanted to bring up, but since you brought him up, I let's bring him up. Joaquin Manuel. I don't know why they keep playing him. I'm sorry. Alam ko Atenista siya. Pero we gotta call it as it is. He's playing like shit. In the game earlier, I don't know if you noticed, Mau. It was tied at 50 all. And he fouled, I think it was Sahonia or someone, or Torres, while shooting a 3-point shot. And he
Si
obviously
Torres.
fouled
Yeah.
him. Oh,
Yeah.
Torres shooting a 3-point shot. And he acted as if he didn't do anything. Bro, you were there. It was a bad closeout. You were there. And then on the next play, he threw a bad entry pass to the post to Kevin Kiambao, and which eventually led to a turnover. And I don't know, it's the same thing, man. He doesn't shoot it consistently, but he's known as a shooter. He's supposed to play like a shooter, but he doesn't shoot it consistently enough to warrant getting minutes over other players like CJ Austria, si Abadam, uh, whoever else is on that bench. They should be giving that person more minutes and taking away Joaquin Manuel's minutes.
Yeah.
He's just so annoying. He's
Parang ano na lang, parang ano siya bro, parang siyang nananakit na lang sa court talaga to be honest. I don't know what happened to Joaquin Manuel. He was a point forward when he was in high school. He had a good game, very high IQ player before, but right now, I think he's struggling with his identity as a player. His 3-point shot is not falling like before. I think he's shooting close to 12 or 15% for the season sa three. And I think they have to really play other people because it's not working. If
yeah,
they
it's
were
not working.
winning, I would have, we wouldn't have mentioned giving more playing time to the rookie Abadam or even Austria. But they're not winning, so something has to change.
And I just want also to give my Bolero of the week is related to yours, Maui, to Coach Derek Pumaren. I'm sorry, pero if this continues, they have to let go of Derek Pumaren. It's been bad. It's been so bad. If you look at their offense, there's a lot of standing around. Uh,
Yeah,
a, a while ago, their offense was just standing around, passing the ball on the perimeter. There was no cutting, no off ball movement, and their defense is not as good too. And this is ironic because the Pomarins are known for being, the Pomarin Press, good defensive teams. They're known to have their players play good defense, but their defense is also not very good. They're gambling a lot. They're not closing out where they're missing assignments. They're not rotating. Uh, it's tough, pare. I think if they don't make the final, even if they do make the final four as a number 4 seed, I think they should fire Coach Derek. You mentioned that they've lost their identity. I think Coach Derek has lost his grasp on the team and in that locker room.
yeah.
They're not executing. They're not executing talaga. It's so ugly to watch them. I don't know, pare. Ang labo talaga. Di ko
I
gets.
don't.
Sobrang talented nila.
Yeah, sobrang talented nila on paper, and they were playing really good nung start ng season, ng first 4 games nila. I think they were really playing like a contender. Their game against UP could have gone either way. They should have won that game, in my opinion. They beat Ateneo. They were playing very good. Shawnee Winston was balling out of his mind. But I don't know. They're probably mentally exhausted right now. They've lost games that they should have won easily. Uh, their players are in and out of the lineup. Emanelli, uncharacteristically already, I think, has 3 suspensions, 2 or 3
Ano ba nangyari
suspensions.
kay Evanelli? What did he do? Did he
Uh,
hit someone again?
no, the UAAP kasi has its rule that when you get 2 unsportsmanlike fouls, you automatically get suspended for a game. And I think Evan Haley committed
Oh,
his third or fourth infraction, so he was suspended again. Uh,
crazy.
Evanelli is very critical to their offense. Kaya when he's not there, you really see them struggling. Even when Shawnee Winston is there, because Shawnee Winston is more of a shooting guard as opposed to a point guard. Is looking to score. Evanelli is as important to LaSalle as Padrigao or even JD Kagulangan is to UP. He stabilizes everything. And it's unfortunate that he's not. I think it should it should be more careful committing those silly fouls. It's very costly. They're now 3-5. Every game is a must win, in my opinion, if they want to contend for the final four slot. Historically, 8 wins gets you into the final four, 9 wins or 10 wins gets you the second seed. But given how tight the UAAP is right now, only UP is separated by more than 2 games. Every game is a must win for LaSalle, and I would have to give my Bolero of the week to Evan Nelly for again being suspended. You cannot fault Michael Phillips for being out because of injury or Shawnee Winston for being out because of injury. But Evan Nelly is a seasoned veteran. He's been part of championship teams with San Beda. He should play better and avoid those unsportsmanlike fouls if they want to contend for the final four.
Yeah, exactly. It's been tough for Lasal. So now let's go to our runner-up Bolero of the week. Uh, I'm gonna give it to Adamson. I don't know if you watched the game earlier, Mao. They lost Vince
Yeah,
McBuhos. Hopefully, it's not a serious injury, and they also lost Jerome Lastimosa. And those are two of their main guys. And
yeah,
Jerome Lastimosa is their offense. Uh, it's rough. It's gonna be rough. If Jerome Lastimosa doesn't play the next few games, I think they're gonna drop down in the standings. I pray that Vince McBuhos doesn't have any serious injury. Although he was sitting on the bench, so I think it was just a hyperextended knee from what I saw in the replay. So hopefully he gets to recover. But he's surely out in the next couple of games. You don't recover. He's not Giannis. He's not gonna come back in a week or so. So he's definitely gonna be out for the foreseeable future. But that's tough. Losing two of your main guys to injury in the earlier game. So not a fault of theirs, but gotta give them a Bolero of the week. Mau, anything you want to add?
I think one more, just my running up for this week. I think UST deserves also to be mentioned as part of the Boleros. They had an opening day win and they've managed to rack up 7 straight losses. I'm sorry for Nick Cabanero. He's trying his best, but unfortunately, all those off-season moves that proved that were against them have really hurt them right now. They clearly lack the depth that they need to win games. But we still expected them to dog it out and sana very competitive with all the teams para yung dogfight talaga for the number 3 and 4 slots. But yeah, I think they should get Cabanero help, or Cabanero's definitely transferring to another school.
I
Definitely.
was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. I read. I forgot which website. I'm sorry, but there were alumni of the UST that are calling for a total revamp of the basketball program of UST because they are angry and they're embarrassed that the school is this crappy. And I
Yeah.
would actually, Maui, I would not be surprised if Nick Cabanero transfers somewhere else because it is sad right now. I do get that he's the main guy. He's gonna get all the shots. The offense is coming through him, but at some point, the losing gets to him. I
Yeah.
think, no.
He looks like a very
Uh,
competitive guy. Kaya
yeah,
all
and
this losing will
he
probably
has
get him.
no help. He has no help there. I don't see anyone in their lineup except for kahit si Faye, pare, hindi, he's big but he's not as skilled, and there's no one else in their lineup that I could see stepping up into a bigger role or a bigger offensive role, unless my internal development that happens from this the upcoming offseason until the next season, or they recruit someone big and as skilled, pero he's just sobrang kawawa siya. Yung naawa nga ako sa kanya. USDs, they're so bad. I think they've been blown out the last 5, 6 games, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't had a close game. They haven't had a close game at all.
Walang close game.
So
After that surprise win against Adamson, but hopefully they find their stride during these last few games. Much like FEU, UST has a very storied UAAP history. We're hoping that they'll finally be able to get past the whole Alden Ayo fiasco that caused all of this mess. Uh, as we mentioned before in sa previous episodes, one of my main idols came from UST, si Cyrus Baguio. And I hope that FEU continues that tradition of producing these very talented wing players, much like Nick Cabanero. But yeah, hopefully they find their stride, or probably they have
UST, you mean, not
UST, yeah,
FEU? And
UST. Hopefully they, if not, hopefully they start to plan for the next season and really revamp the program better.
all right.
All right.
So I think that's it, Maui, for our episode today of Boleros. Thank you for coming on. I know it's late,
Yeah.
but we
Anytime
did
for
have to
Bolero.
cover. Yes, we did have to cover this. So for those watching, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to the channel for more episodes upcoming. There are big games upcoming. The UAP season 85 is one hell of a season, as Maui
Yeah, one of our
mentioned.
season.
You don't know what's gonna happen. It's so exciting, and I think the UAP fans have to be ballers of the week because we're getting such good games. Even if
Definitely.
Ateneo lost, we
Yeah,
are winners because
as
we're
much as it breaks our heart, the fans are ballers of the week because of these games.
yes. And so thank you everyone for listening. Thank you,
Thank you.
Maui,
Thank you.
and we'll see you in our next episode. Peace out.